All right, joining us now is Suhail Shaheen, an English spokesperson for the Taliban. He is part of their delegation in Qatar and was involved in negotiations with the United States. Mr. Shaheen, the Afghan ambassador says the Taliban is carrying out mass executions of military personnel and targeted killings of civilians in Kandahar and Kabul. Our reporter in Kabul also says that he is hearing similar reports. What is your response to these allegations that your forces are committing these atrocities?
These allegations are totally baseless, totally wrong. They are the propaganda spread by our opponents in order to mislead the opinion of the world against us. Of course, there was when their forces and policemen evacuated their outpost, their police station, and they fled. There was, for a few hours, vacuum, and our forces were at that time at the gate of the Kabul city. When we received the reports of plundering and damaging to people's public properties, then we entered the cities. Now the security is maintained, and our more forces from our side will enter in order to provide security to all parts of the city.
Okay, you say that your forces are providing security, and we were getting calls. We have been hearing messages from people who are saying that the Taliban and their fighters have gone house to house looking for people who worked alongside the Americans, who worked as translators, and in some cases taking young women and children as brides for their fighters. Are you denying those allegations?
Yes, I totally deny. If someone go from door to door and they are posing as Taliban, they are not Taliban. They may be from the former NDS or some spielers and posing in order to create a bad name for us, to malign us, but they are not Taliban because we have a clear policy. The policy is that no one can enter anyone's house, property, honor, and life of the people are protected. That we have issued statement after statements. That is clear. But we know there are spielers, and they are doing in order to provide opportunity for others to spread maligning us and also giving us a bad name, accusing us. That is their game from for the last 20 years.
Okay, but if you are in Doha and you are negotiating about a peaceful resolution for Afghanistan, why did the Taliban sweep across Afghanistan from city to city, going from town to town and taking control while you were also engaged in negotiations with the Americans? Why would you do that?
We were engaged in negotiation here with the other side team.
But you participated in the negotiations.
Yes, we participated in the negotiations.
So were they not good faith negotiations?
Yeah. It was in good faith, but it was their responsibility of their security forces that they were leaving their outposts, coming to us and saying, we do not have trust in this administration and we do not want to stop this fighting. We are not anymore with this administration. They were handing their weapons and they were joining our ranks. So it was their responsibility to have control over them. So we, for long said, this administration, the people and their soldiers do not trust their corrupt administration. So we had a negotiation here, but here they also said, we have 20 years gains. It is a red line for us. They said, the Republic is a red line for us. The Constitution is a red line for us. While here in Doha, it was reconciliation to put everything from our side on their side on the table, then negotiate and reach a solution and form a government acceptable to all.
Okay, I'll get to how you're going to govern in just a moment, but did the Taliban make any assurances? Did they give the Americans any guarantees that they would be allowed, that the Americans would be allowed to leave Kabul without any attacks or threats against the American military or American personnel that they are trying to evacuate?
Yes.
You gave them that guarantee?
Yes, there will be, we have commitment that there will be no attack on the Americans evacuating Afghanistan. Not only now, it was for the last 14 months, which is mentioned in the agreement, and we didn't attack them. A single soldier, American soldier, was killed during that time. While before that, there was a lot of casualties.
Right. Will you go after and punish those that worked with the Americans while they were there if they don't leave the country?
We want them not to leave the country, to lead their normal life. Our country needs them.
But will you punish those who worked with the Americans?
We have commitment.
Will you punish those that worked with the Americans?
We will not punish them, and we will not pose any risk to them, to their property, and to their life. It is our policy. We have issued the official statement in this regard. So.
Okay, and you've probably seen the images. You've probably seen the images of thousands of Afghans who are trying to leave Afghanistan. If they want to leave Afghanistan under the Taliban's control, will you keep the borders open and allow people in Afghanistan to leave freely without any threats?
And there is no need for any kind of document, any visa or passport, but they should reach the airport and embark the aeroplanes.
Okay, I want to ask.
That is why thousands of people.
Sorry, let me ask you. Yeah, let me ask you about how the Taliban. Let me ask you.
Someone killed during launching, jostling.
Let me ask you about how the Taliban is going to govern. You now control Afghanistan. Is the Taliban going to roll?
After hearing now the situation.
Hold on one second, sir, and I apologize. We may be having a little bit of a technical delay. I just wanted to ask you, now that the Taliban is in control, will you control unilaterally without any elections? Will you allow elections to happen in Afghanistan? Will you allow women to participate in politics? Okay, it seems that we may have lost our connection there with Suhail Shaheen. We were going to ask him about the future of women in Afghanistan under Taliban control. We'll see if we can at least get that connection. Unfortunately, we lost it. Suhail Shaheen, the English spokesperson for the Taliban.